Get free.
Go, poet, go in.
The river that forgets its source will eventually dry up. The day my grandfather died, I cried like I had never cried before. Not because I loved him, but because I did. Two plane rides in an ocean away, we couldn't have been farther apart, but the distance between us wasn't measured in kilometers or miles, but in the great lengths that I took to separate myself from my father's father. See, I was named after him, and I've never bothered trying to understand my history or his story. And I've never known how it feels to think in a language that is not English. My mother tongue hung from a glass ceiling that I could not reach, and each time that I talked to him over the phone, we only spoke in broken words that amounted to little more than small talk. This call from home was the hardest one of them all. It was the first and the last time that I had ever seen my daddy cry, and at first I thought those tears were for his father, but those tears were for his children too. I must have been about 13 years old, bright-eyed but blinded to my own bloodline. I had no way of knowing back then, but it broke my daddy's heart to realize that when a wise man dies, so do all the wise things that coat the inside of his mind like dust. And if memory keeps preserve it, that wisdom withers away. See, you cannot cherish a memory that was never yours to begin with, unless somebody gives it to you. And the memories lost that day were a gift that we could not receive. Because even though this body was born in the motherland, my mind flourished here. In schools that separated history into American and everything else. I was taught by teachers who couldn't even pronounce my name. And when they tried, they only manipulated their mouths, mashing it in between untrained and neo-colonial tongues. You think that English teacher would know how to read, but unfortunately, people ask you, where are you from originally? And what they really mean is, why aren't you white? Yeah! Yemi. I had to simplify my God-given name because mere mortals couldn't do it justice. And it's daring enough. My name is Yemi Akorede Adewuyi. And that means I am worthy of a crown. So you should know that when you speak to me, you are speaking to royalty. See, I was named after my grandfather. And the men who came before me wore the crown of their heritage with pride. And even the great kings who have died still live on in the names that fathers give their sons.